The massively hyped up by-election in the constituency of Gorton and Denton. The results have been announced this morning, and I'm sure you've seen a lot of chatter about it on social media, on the media. So I'm sure you know the results. I'm sure you've heard many opinions, but I kind of wanted to give my specific opinion because it does massively back up a point that I've already made on this channel. So to begin, I'll give you a quick summary of the results. I'm sure you've seen them, but I'm going to give you a quick summary anyway. So Labour came in third on 25.4%, halving their vote share. Reform came in second on 28.7%, up by around about 15%, and the Greens won with a pretty good result of 40.7%. Now, why is this, do we think? It's not because their policies are good. It's not because they're offering anything good. I mean, it can't be because they're offering anything good for the constituents, because half the campaign they were talking about Gaza in the Middle East. So how can this be about well, actually, I voted for the Green Party because I think they're going to better my life and my constituents' life. No! It's completely Muslim diversity voting. It is a prime example of, the native British people with Christian heritage are being outvoted in parts of their own country. And very soon, this will be happening everywhere. Okay? We will be outvoted everywhere. This is a prime example. It completely backs up what I've been saying. If you haven't watched my video on electoral reform and what I think we need, I'd recommend go watching that. Now more than ever, well, now especially after the result, it's important. We need to ban non-ethnic British people and Muslims and Jews from voting in our elections. We need to stop them from deciding our parliament, because what we have is a woman who distinctly hates being white, hates nativism, and loves diversity and immigration. This does not represent Britain. This woman and her opinions does not represent Britain. So how can she be a representative in the British Parliament, in our Parliament? She talks about immigration in such a way that kind of makes you feel like, do you just not want to be British? Genuinely, if you love immigration that much and diversity that much, go to the Middle East, go to Africa. You will go there and you will see why these people are fleeing these countries, because their societies are failing. Now, why on earth would their societies be failing? Why would they be failing? Give me 5 seconds. Why would they be failing? Because they can't run themselves. So why do we want them to run us? Why would we want them to replace us and run us? This by-election result just very firmly shows that Islamic politics is winning. It's gaining traction. Islam is very, very quickly, over the past 20 years, has very quickly gone from a religion to an ideology, a cultist ideology. And the Greens are playing into this. The Greens are playing into kind of the diversity vote, the immigrant vote, the Islamic vote. They don't actually care at all about Britain, about British interests, about the British people, about our interests. Because if they did, they wouldn't be saying or campaigning on any of the things that they have been in this constituency, like this by-election. Like I said, we're being completely, in this election specifically, we've been completely outvoted. You look at a demographic map for the election, and you'll see on one side, the Gorton side, it is majority ethnic, so it's not majority white. I think it's 42% white. The Denton side is majority white. And so the Gorton side of the constituency voted for the Greens mostly as a majority, and also Labour. Denton voted for Reform mainly. So it is just going to show that the genuine white native population is voting for a certain type of politics, and that is, like a loathe reform. I loathe them. I think they're a bunch of lies, but they are voting for what is deemed to be the anti-immigration, pro-British vote. That's what they're voting for. That's what the native white British people in Gorton and Denton voted for. However, the ethnic, foreign Islamic vote voted for the Greens and Labour. So it's going to show that kind of, if only what I'm proposing, that Muslims and immigrants of any variety and non-ethnic British people were banned from voting, Reform would have won this seat by a very big majority. I can guarantee you that now. So it's kind of, it has proved my argument to a massive extent. It has proved my argument that eventually, if we allow this to continue, if we do not throw our support behind a genuine right-wing party, we do not fight for this form of electoral reform, we will be replaced. It will get to over a threshold where we can no longer vote our way out of this problem. And that's not a situation you really want to be in, to be honest. You don't want to put yourself in a situation where you're going to get outvoted. You know, you can't win at the ballot box anymore. You can't get the change you want anymore by democracy. And it's kind of, I saw a very good point on X, actually. I believe my mate posted it. And he said that democracy is dying. And that's a very good point that he makes, because democracy, at least in the sense that I understand it, means representation for the people. You know, the people get to run the people and their country. Keyword, their country. You know, I'm a big advocate for democracy. I believe the people should vote. I believe, you know, the British people should be able to steer Britain in the direction that the majority want. However, that's not what's currently happening. In the example of Gorton and Denton, that's not what is happening. The direction of our country is being steered off course. Okay, off the course of where we want to go is being steered off course by foreigners, by people that don't share our values, by Muslims, by Jews. Jews less so in Gorton and Denton, to be honest, although Polanski is a Jew. And so kind of this argument that eventually we will cross a threshold and we will no longer be able to outvote the problem. We can't vote our way out of the problem. This will mean we're on a, you know, one-way ticket into just extinction. The white British race will go extinct. That is what we're at the risk of. Right now, that is what we're at the risk of. Kind of, if we go down this route, if we allow ourselves to be replaced to the point where we can no longer, where we're in the minority, we can no longer outvote these people. You know, out of fear of being called racist. Oh my God, don't call me a racist. Please replace me. No. I don't want to be replaced. I don't think you want to be replaced either. Who does? Britain is Britain, okay? Britain is beautiful for a reason. That's because the British made it. It is unique to Britain. It's filled by the British, and it has our culture. That's what people like about Britain. It has our culture. It has our architecture, our cuisine, our religion. It's what makes us unique. It's what makes us a nation of people. To be unique, to be us. If we continue down the road that we're going down, if we keep voting for the Greens, if we keep voting for Labour, if we keep voting for Reform, if we keep voting for the Liberal Democrats, if we keep voting for the establishment parties, parties that hate us and want to see us be replaced, then Britain won't be unique. Britain won't be beautiful. Britain won't even be Britain. If a country isn't even filled by its own people, is it that country anymore? You know, it's the argument, what's that ship, that famous ship from philosophy where it's kind of, over time, it has been replaced. Each, you know, plank of wood has been, you know, replaced. It's been moved out, and eventually each part of this ship has been kind of replaced. And the argument is this ship the same ship? You know, because what made the ship, what the ship experienced, the history, the culture behind this ship has been replaced by something new. So it's no longer the ship. It might be the same shape. You know, it might look the same on a map. Lines on a map, it might look the same. But it isn't really, is it? Because the culture's gone. The history's gone. What made that ship unique is gone. It's the exact same thing, but for Britain. We are actively watching ourselves go down the route of extinction. Soon will come the day that you will walk into, not just a major city, because now is the day. You will walk into a major city and you'll look around and there aren't white people. And that's not me saying that as in, these damn Asians or whatever. No, I don't have any racial prejudice against anyone. It's just that being ethnically British means you're white. So when I look around and I don't see white people, I don't see British people. And to see that in London, our capital, Birmingham, our second biggest city. You know, I live relatively close to Birmingham. You know, when I go, you know, you have to watch your pockets. When you go to London, you got to hide your watch at night. This isn't cultural enrichment, it's ethnic replacement. And we are heading down the route of extinction. You know, it will come the day where we are a minority in our own country. And there's nothing more we will be able to do about it. We will not be able to vote for a party that will be able to turn this around, like Restore. You know, even the Reform heads, you know, if you're a Reform supporter watching this video, I don't agree with Reform, but you won't win. You won't win either. These people don't want Reform either. These people don't even want the Conservatives either. You won't win. We won't win. If we keep allowing ourselves to be replaced, we keep bending over backwards for leftism because we're so scared of being called a Nazi or a racist or Islamophobic or anti-Semitic or any of these things, we will go extinct. There's nothing short about it. And that is perfectly what this by-election reflects. The native people were outvoted in this election. And what happened? They got a candidate that wants to continue their replacement. So the people that are here to replace us are voting more for people that want to further replace us. That is perfectly what this by-election has highlighted. It's highlighted that the native people, the native white British people, are already being outvoted in the interests of foreign nations. Immigrants will always have dual allegiance. They will always have something that is not Britain at heart. They will always have interests that are not British. So why on earth would we let them vote in our elections? Because they don't hold our interests at heart. Not as much as they should anyway. Not as much as we do, or as we should. Honestly, it's really upsetting to see. You know, I like Manchester. I love the north. I'm northern. I've been to Manchester. I love it. You know, great architecture, beautiful city, beautiful native, beautiful people. It's great. Why on earth are we voting to get rid of this? What about this kind of foreign culture is so appealing that we want to get rid of ours and replace ours with theirs? It's heartbreaking to watch. Heartbreaking to watch. You visit your capital city, London, the greatest city in the world. It's not British. Birmingham, the second biggest city, beautiful city. It's not anymore though, is it? And why else is that? Wolverhampton used to be the gem of the north. It used to be a beautiful, amazing place to be. you know, I grew up very close to Wolverhampton. I've visited Wolverhampton throughout my life, and it's a shithole. Why is that? Migration and cultural replacement. You go around, you don't see Britain anymore. You see a third world country wearing a British mask. Or maybe the other way around at this point, I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, that's all I've really got to say. I do say it's a bit shorter, but it's not. It is very much more of a rambly video, though. It's more so about the implications behind the by-election and the results. But just, if you're going to take one thing away from this video, it's don't vote away your rights. Don't vote away your country. Don't vote away your culture. Don't vote away your identity. That's exactly what Green voters, Labour voters, Lib Dem voters, Conservative voters, Reform voters are doing. You are voting away your country. You are voting this away. What makes Britain beautiful? You're voting for your cultural replacement. You are voting for a downgrade, to be honest. But yeah, it's heartbreaking to see. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on the Gorton and Denton by-election. Yeah, at the top of the comment section, I'll leave a link to my Rumble channel, the first live show of my show. The first show will be on Monday. I will be broadcasting from 8 to 9 p.m. At British time. So if you're interested in, you know, kind of, yeah, just watching that, checking that out, seeing my thoughts on kind of more topics. I'll go more in depth as well. If you are interested in that, then click the link and it will take you to my Rumble page. Make sure to follow and yeah, thank you for watching.